Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to continue discussing strings, and we are going to discuss an important operation which is called string formatting. So basically, I want to control how a string will appear when I print it, for example. So let's start by this example. Assume I have a variable called price equal to 18.12345 and I want to basically have this string in a variable called send. The string will say the price is something dollars. Okay. So what I want to do is to put the content of this variable in the space between is and dollars. Okay. So how do I do this? Let's see. There are two things you need to do to perform this operation, and I will explain the details as we go on. So the first thing, you want to hold, okay, the space inside the string. So I want to keep the space. I want to tell Python, please keep the space. I will use it later. So how do you do this? You do this by placing or by putting a placeholder. So in this example, I will put %sign and the letter F. Okay, this is called a placeholder. Basically, you are telling Python again, hold the place between is and dollars. I will use it later. So again, you write %sign, then the letter F. After the quotation mark, you write another %sign. Okay, then the variable you want to place instead of the placeholder. So again, what I want to do is substitute the placeholder with the variable price. Okay. Now there are four things you can control in the settings. I will explain them by example, then I will go into the details after we see the example. So let's move into Jupyter. I will recreate the example, price equal to 18.123456, and the variable sent will be the price is dollars. And what I want to do is I want to basically save or hold the space, okay, by putting a placeholder, %sign F. And after the string, I will tell Python what to put inside or instead of the placeholder. So I want to put the content of the variable price. So when I print send, I will see the price is, and instead of %sign F, I get the content of the variable price. All right. So let's see what are the four things you can control using this operation. So I will copy this and paste it 4 times. I will comment out these, and let's start with the top one. Okay, I will start by adding 30 between %sign and F, and let's run. Notice how I still have the number between is and dollars. Okay, I have the numbers 18.123456. However, I have a large space before it. Why is that? The number 30 here is simply telling Python, give me 30 spaces, 30 positions between is and dollars. Okay, so the position between is and the end of the number are 30. So there are 30 positions here. So you are just telling Python, I need 30 positions to my variable. Okay, even if my variable will not consume all of them, just give me 30. Okay, so this is one thing you can control, which is how many spaces or positions you will hold for your variable. Let's see what is the other thing you can control. I will write 30 again. This time I will write a minus sign before it, and I will run. So I still have 30 positions okay, for my number. However, this time I have my number on the left-hand side, okay, because of the negative sign right here. So what did I do? I basically left align my number in the space provided by the placeholder, okay? So I want my number to be left aligned. I just add a negative sign. This is the second thing you can control, alignment. Okay, if you want it on the right, put nothing. If you want it on the left, put a negative sign. What else can I control? Let's see. This time I will retype 30. Then I will add dot 2. See the output? Again, you have 30 positions for your number, but now your number has only 2 decimal places because you have the 2 right here. Okay, what is the last thing you can control? Here I will write 30.2 again, but I will put 0 before 30. So when I run this, I get again 30 positions with 2 decimal places, but now I have leading zeros. So zeros before the numbers. The zeros will fill the entire empty space I have in my string. Okay, so as I mentioned, you can control 4 things. First thing is called field width, which is the number of spaces you want for your variable. The second thing is precision. So you can write it after a dot like this, and you don't have to provide the field width. So you can eliminate anything. Basically, you can write it like this. I just want to specify precision. So you write %2. If you want to specify 2 things, field width plus precision, you do 30.2f. How do you specify alignment? By a negative sign. If you want left alignment, and you use nothing for right alignment. And how do you specify leading zeros? You just put 0 before the field width like this. Now, one more important detail. The fact that we used f in the placeholder is because the variable price is of type float. So if you want to put integer, you will use d. And if you want to put a string, you will use s. So if the variable you want to place inside the string is of type integer, you put d in the placeholder. If it's of type string, you put s in the placeholder. All right. Also, one very important detail to notice is this operation here is called the formatting operator. Okay. And again, this is called placeholder. Another name for it is format specifier, because it's specifying how do you format a specific string. And again, if this variable is float, you will put f. If it's integer, you will put d. If it's a string, you will put s. And one more thing to mention here is that this method, okay, is called % formatting. And this is C style formatting. So it's coming from the C language. And in Python, actually, it is not recommended to use it. There are different ways to format a string, which are more powerful. You can search for f string and the format function. So these are the better way to format a string. This is okay, but it is old and it's not that powerful. These 2 new methods in Python are better to use. And we might come back in a later video and discuss f string and format function. So the example we've seen is the one that use one variable. Okay, I want to put one variable, one format specifier. So you have one variable, one format specifier. What about the case when I have multiple variables? There is a slight change required. Let's see. So you have price 1 equal to 18.354, price 2 equal to 12.123, and I want to show both price in one statement. So the first price equal to, I will put the percentage sign F. I will put a placeholder right here with 2 decimal places, for example, and the second price is another placeholder. Now, after the string, usually I will put the formatting operator, percentage sign, then the first variable, then the second variable. Now, when you have more than one variable, you need to put them inside parentheses like this, okay? So now when I print send, you get exactly what you expect. So the extra more details, if you have more than one format specifier, more than one placeholder, put the variables inside parentheses. And notice how the first variable here will go to the first format specifier. The second variable will go to the second format specifier. Okay. You can do whatever we did right here inside print directly. So let's take this example. Instead of putting the result of formatting inside a variable, I will just put it immediately in print. Like this. So I am printing the string formatted as specified by the format specifier. So assume you have 2 precision here, 2 precision point, you run this, you get exactly what you expect. So the point of this is just to show you can format immediately in print. You don't need each time to store the result in a variable. Okay, let's conclude by this simple exercise. Assume you have the following variables: bottles equal 5 and cans equal 24. Write a program that prints the result in a tabular format like below. So I'm expecting something like this, where the text is aligned to the left and the numbers are on the right. You can assume the numbers in both variables can have at most 8 digits. Okay, so let's see how to solve this. Notice how I need my output to look something like this. So I need to write the text, okay, that describe the first variable, basically bottles, then colon. Then I will have 8 spaces for the numbers, because I said numbers can have up to 8 digits. So you have 8 spaces for the number of bottles. Same thing, you have 8 spaces for the number of cans, and you want the text for cans to be aligned on the left. So let's see how to solve this. I'll create the variable first. Bottles equal to 5, cans equal to 24. Okay, and I will print, or to make it simpler, let's store the result in cent1. So cent1 will be the string bottles with a colon. Then I will have the numbers right here. Okay, and the space, I will have the number. So I will put a placeholder. What type of letter do I put? I put D because the numbers are integer. And after the string, I will put the formatting operator, then the variable bottles. Okay, so basically I'm telling Python, put the content of this variable inside this placeholder, or instead of this placeholder. Okay, so send2 will be the same. I have cans, percentage sign D, I forget the colon. Then right here, I will write another percentage sign, then the variable cans. So I am placing the content of the variable cans in the place of the placeholder. Now, when I print send1 and send2, let's see what you have. You just have bottles 5, cans 24, which is not what we want. Okay. First of all, think about this idea. You have 8 digits maximum for each number. So you need 8 places or 8 positions for each number. How do you specify this? By the field width, okay, which is the number you put after the percentage sign. So I need 8 digits for both. Okay, so let's see what will happen if I run this. I have now 8 digits for the number of bottles, and I have 8 digits for cans. However, the only problem is the 8 digit will start right here. So this is the space for the number of bottles. And the 8 digit for cans will start earlier right here. So the only issue is the word cans is shorter than the word bottles. Okay. By how many characters? It is shorter by 3 characters. So I need, in order to align the 8 spaces, to make them aligned like this, I need both words to end in the same place. So I want the word bottles to consume the same space as the word cans. Both of them are taking the same number of positions. So how do you enforce this? Notice how the word bottles is longer, okay? So how many characters do I have here? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters. Okay, I have 8 characters for the word bottles. I need the word cans to consume 8 characters as well. Okay, so let's see how do I do this. I will come right here, okay, and instead of writing bottles, colon, I will substitute this with a placeholder. So let's keep this and work on a new cell so you can see the difference. So I will take this text and put a placeholder inside. So why do I choose S? Because I want to put a string, okay, instead of this placeholder. And where is the content of this placeholder will come from? It will come from the string bottles. So again, I will substitute the string bottles colon inside or instead of this placeholder. So now I have 2 values substituting 2 placeholders. So I need parentheses. I will do the same for cans. So I'll remove this, put a placeholder. Then I will come here. I will put my string, comma, close the parentheses. So I want to substitute this string in the place of percentage sign S, and this variable integer in space in the place of percentage 8D. One more thing. We said that the both strings needs to occupy the same space and the same number of spaces. And we said we need 11 spaces for bottles. So cans must, 8 spaces for bottles. So the word cans must occupy 8 spaces as well. So I can come here and specify the field width to be 8. Same thing here to be 8. Now, when I run this, I see that the word bottles and the word cans are both occupying the same number of spaces, okay? And now I have my numbers aligned together, okay? The only problem is I don't want cans to be floating on the right. want it on the left. So I will just put a minus sign here and the minus sign right here, although I don't need it. So now I have my output as expected. Okay. Another way of solving the problem is we notice right here that the word cans is ending before the word bottles. So you can just specify more positions for the number 24 or for the number of cans. So I noticed the difference between these two are 3 characters. So 11 plus 3, sorry, 8 plus 3 is 11. You run this, you get both number aligned. So what we did here is give this number right here 11 spaces instead of 8. So we will start counting from here, 11 up to here, and you will give 5, just 8 spaces. Okay, this is a cleaner way of doing it, I think, and you can argue otherwise. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.